because they were a team that were not supposed to be here. From the beginning, Team Rose was counted out, predicted to finish dead last in their inaugural season of Unrivaled. ESPN's preseason rankings had them in last place, placing 6 out of 6. So they hung the screenshot on their whiteboard in the locker room all season as a reminder. And that thing became fuel. It became motivation, and on Monday night in Miami, that screenshot became irrelevant because Team Rose, they weren't last. They were first. Behind a gritty and clutch performance by Chelsea Gray, a dominant inside game by Azurá Stevens, and a game-sealing and one by Brittany Sykes, Team Rose defeated the Vinyl 62-54 to win the first ever championship for Unrivaled. So, how did they do it? Well, watch this.
Gray had 39, a new single-game high. Sykes lays it home.
Try to take advantage of that matchup.
Sykes, nice fake. Azurá, a champion in Chicago a few years ago. Howard in the triple threat. Screen, Hamby. Howard chiseling, pull-up, good.
Facing 3 players. When a player falls down, you really get at a disadvantage.
Now 4 points. Each starter has scored for Vinyl. Picked off by Hamby. Canada, and just the emotion, the love she has for this group. It's shining by Boston. Here comes Aaliyah Boston, a freight train. Train time, National Player of the Year, Aaliyah Boston. Fortifier. Eyes. Chelsea Gray with 2 assists, early 3 points. Hillman into the ball game. Semifinals against Laces yesterday. Boston looking to carve. Boston to spin. Hillman. Gray draws 2. Blocked by 3 minutes in the semifinals last night against Laces. Ryan Howard on the other side. 20.
Getting to her spots down low, able to finish over the top.
Gray to orchestrate. Stevens on the blow by. Azurá Stevens finds space. Tonight semifinal and still without Kalia Copper. Their 2 other leading scorers behind Gray. That's a tough take. In the 6 assists. Passes up the 3, touch pass Sykes. Stevens for 2. Differential, let's see if they go 2 for 1. Howard fires the 3. Bullseye. Give Vinyl the lead going to the 4th. Howard the step back. Stevens. Vinyl get back defensively. Sykes in traffic, scores. Nothing but Erica Hamby. Sling it out to Howard with 2. Contested 3. Ryan Howard at the most. 4th quarter points last night. 9 of her 39. Has the space, the mid-range. That's off toes. Out of the garden they come. It's Gray. Crossover. Chelsea Gray has
For a 3-pointer.
Sykes 2 and the foul. And she can win it.
To close it out.
1 for 2 tonight. At 1-4, Rose Basketball Club is the first Unrivaled champion.
So, we have our new champion. Or first ever champion, really. Team Rose did their big one. And for 2 nights in a row, Chelsea Gray did what she did all season long. She delivered when it mattered the most. Less than 24 hours after setting an unrivaled record with 39 points in the semifinals, Chelsea Gray had a really, really rough start for the championship game. However, just like fine wine, Chelsea Gray got better and better and better as the game went on. And she's did her thing, right? With amazing passes in that first half to clutch shots in the second half down the stretch. She finished with 18 points, 8 assists, earning finals MVP. But no other play was as wild as that half court play. Y'all saw it in that recap montage where she literally did a heave-ho at half court. At the end of the 3rd quarter, the ball went straight up in the air, bounced right in, and that changed just about everything. With Vinyl, they were leading at the time. Before that shot, they were actually leading by 1 point. It was 49-48. But after Chelsea launched that shot, she got Team Rose in the lead with a 2-point lead, 51-49, going into the the fourth quarter. And guys, after that, the target score was set, and Team Rose never faltered in the fourth quarter. And guys, this was a awesome game for Team Rose, not just for Chelsea Gray, but this was a team effort game because this team won without some of the key players. But honestly, it's nothing new for Team Rose. They entered into postseason already down Kalia Copper, who missed the majority of the season due to a leg injury. Then, ahead of the semifinals, we see that Angel Reese, the Defensive Player of the Year for Unrivaled, was ruled out with a hand injury. So, you had your second and third top scorers for Team Rose out, right? Your top three scorers is Chelsea Gray, Angel, and Kalia. Kalia and Angel are out. So, what happens? Instead of folding, Team Rose adjusted. They leaned more heavily on Azare Stevens, who stepped up big time in the finals and delivered a double-double masterpiece, 19 points, 18 rebounds for Azare. They leaned heavily on Brittany Sykes, who led the team in points in that finals with 21 points and closed the game out with a game-winning free throw. Though, I gotta say, I don't like the fact that the game was won by the free throw line. I don't like that. I don't. But, alas, here we are. Team Rose, of course, they're led by Chelsea Gray. But when she's 1 of 9 in the first half, the rest of the team stepped up in a big way. And they never wavered in their belief. They leaned heavily on head coach Nola Henry, who, despite being a very, very young coach, is a great basketball mind and a great motivator, and someone who was able to just put the right people in at the right time in order to get that dub. And ultimately, even without Angel, even without Kalia Copper, this team gets the job done. And I gotta love it. Y'all, Kalia Copper was on the bench cheering for the team. Angel was not. I believe she was on a plane watching the game. And she celebrated on FaceTime with her team and whatnot. But she was not actually there. Seems like she had some sort of prior commitment or whatever. But the road to the title for Team Rose was anything but smooth, right? This is a team that opened the season 1 of 4. They struggled with cohesion. They struggled with Nola trying to figure out exactly who to put in at what time. But they tightened up the ship. They got that dog in them. They got that extra motivation that that money will give you. And they finished the regular season out strong, securing the number 2 seed in the playoffs. In the semifinals, they faced against number 3 seed, the Laces. And as I said earlier, Chelsea Gray delivered masterclass. She did her thing in that one. And for Vinyl, they were a team that barely made the playoffs. They barely made the playoffs due to ended up winning due to a tie over the Mist. They stunned the Lunar Owls in the semifinals, which was the top team in the league. And the championship was set against 2 teams that no one really expected to actually make it this far. And we proceeded to see an absolute show. Close game throughout, a defensive battle, back and forth. Ultimately, Vinyl, they were trying their best, right? Ryan Howard, she was inefficient in this game, but she was trying her best to knock down some points, right? And also, Aaliyah Boston, she stepped up in this one. I thought Aaliyah Boston had some huge minutes. Scoring the basketball, had 10 points, had a couple of blocks. Ray Burrell also was someone who had a couple of blocks coming into this game. Jordan Canada struggled from the field, but ultimately, Vinyl gave it all they had. But when it came down to it, Team Rose just had more bucket getters. And hey, it is what it is. They end up winning this matchup 62-54. And let's get to one point that I really want to talk about. One point I really want to talk about is that that against all odds, without Angel, without Kalia, without the respect that they thought they deserved. This Team Rose, with two relief players on their squad, right? They get the job done, and they win the championship. Now, here's a clip that I really wanted to point out because I thought it was pretty awesome.
About the note that you guys hung on your whiteboard that's on your shirt
right here.
now.
Talk about it.
Yes. Just the motivation behind this, and it was a driving force for you guys all season.
God, get that. Listen. Off the champagne, I'm gonna have this one. Listen to me. No bullshit.
Go ahead, stand up.
When we saw the little shit on Twitter, we saw it. You know what I did? I said, I already know how Nola is because she be talking that talk. So I said, let me send it to Nola, right? I said, Nola, hang it in the locker room.
Period.
So we could walk in there and get dressed. And we see it every single day. And you know what was under it? Hold this. You know what I put under it? Put 3 lines under it? Unknown. Somebody said they put a picture of Chelsea up and said unknown.
Don't say somebody. DR.
We know who, like, everybody in our locker room, we know what we were capable of, and we know what we could do. What we do?
Yeah, what we do?
What we do? Number one,
What do we do?
inaugural season. Shout out to Unrivaled. Unrivaled. Number one. What SpongeBob say? He was number one.
Yeah, y'all. Kappa was on one. She was on one in the press conference. But the reason why I wanted to show that is because this win means way more than just a title to Team Rose. It means that they were able to rewrite expectations. It meant that they were able to prove doubters wrong. It meant that they were walking off the Unrivaled court with t-shirts on, popping, I assume champagne or whatever that stuff was, and letting the world know. Y'all doubted us. Y'all thought that we would just the vibes group that were just gonna hang out and have a good time and whatnot. Y'all thought we wasn't gonna win. We took this stuff personal. Y'all thought Chelsea Gray was washed. We took that stuff personal. Y'all thought that this team was not gonna do anything. We took that stuff personal because they knew what their locker room was capable of. And what they do, they won. They changed the narrative. They became the first champions of Unrivaled. And as champs, they take home $50,000 apiece, which is a pretty nice payday for a game. Now, here's the deal, guys. They did have 2 relief players on their squad in Natisha Heidemann, who did not actually play in the game, and they had Naz Hillman, who played about 9 minutes in that championship game. Now, what I don't know is the amount of money that Naz Hillman and Natisha Heidemann get. So the original Team Rose players each get $50K, but what the relief players get, I am not sure. I don't believe that has been released just yet. If it does get released, I will make sure to let you all know. Okay. So the 6 players for Unrivaled get 6 players for Team Rose. The original 6 gets $50,000. What Naz gets, what Natisha Heidemann gets, don't know. They have not released that information just yet. All right. Thank you so much, Stern, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Says taking Boston out was so Witherspoon. I mean, Aaliyah Boston needed a break. I thought Aaliyah Boston played great in this game. I thought she played the right amount of minutes. Well, kind of. Because here's the thing. Yes, Aaliyah Boston was having a really good game, but also you had De'Erica Hamby on this team as well, and she is someone who does have the experience and whatnot. Ultimately, it didn't work out where her, Jordan, and Ryan were able to finish it out. But I thought that Aaliyah played some great minutes. I thought she provided a great spark. Sure, could she have gotten a couple more minutes? Sure, but at the same time, it's one of those things where you kind of gotta rock with someone with the people who kind of got you to the dance in a way. And that's why De'Ara Hamby played a lot more minutes, I believe. But I thought Teresa Weatherspoon had a really good game. I thought she had a really good season, and I think she should be proud of herself, right? So that's my thoughts on that.